Hello, what do you think this stuff is? Any ideas? I'm going to tell you about this in a minute, but I just thought I'd pose that question while I'm making this video. Any idea what it is? Okay, well, last weekend I nearly lost my greenhouse and I nearly got a criminal record. I can laugh now, but I've got to tell you, I wasn't laughing at the time. I definitely wasn't laughing at the time. And I'm also going to tell you how maybe you can beef up your greenhouse inexpensively to try and stormproof it. Okay, so it was Thursday evening, it was dark, it was raining, it was blowing a gale, and I think we were being battered by the tail end of Storm Brendan. And I just happened to be locking up, checking windows, checking doors as you do, and the side of the greenhouse looked as though it was moving. Now there was rain on the windows, so I couldn't see very well, but it definitely looked as though it was moving. So I went outdoors and it was moving. The wind had actually blown the door off the greenhouse, and the way it had managed that was a nut and a bolt had came loose and fallen out, and the top and bottom runner on the greenhouse door had opened and allowed the door to come out. The wind had blown the door out, it had got in the greenhouse, and it had started to lift the roof. Would you believe that? Lift the roof. But mine's not a glass greenhouse, fortunately. Mine's polycarbonate, so nothing was broken. But it was in imminent danger of being blown over, being smashed, being blown to bits. So I had to do something quickly. So in the dark, in the rain, I dashed about the place. I tried to get a few nuts and bolts in there to stiffen it up. I leaned things against it. I'd done the best I could to prevent that greenhouse just blowing away. And then I had to go to bed and leave it, and hope that in the morning there was still a greenhouse. Okay, so we've moved on to Friday morning now. Fortunately, it stopped raining, the wind's dropped, I can go out and assess the damage. The whole of one side of the greenhouse is now swaying. It's come detached from the roof has been lifted by the wind. I replaced the nut and bolt in the door runner, refitted the door, got the door closed, fastened the door closed. So if there was any wind now, it couldn't get in the greenhouse. But I still had the side of the greenhouse to sort out. And that's where this stuff comes in. Did you guess what it was? I'm going to tell you now then. It's the edging strip that you would use when you're fitting a kitchen and you're fitting tiles in the kitchen. The tile slots into this edging strip. I think you can see. Maybe it says on there, is it tile, right? And this is a piece that was left over from the last time we modernised our kitchen. It's aluminium, it's got a right angle, it's lightweight, it's got holes in it. Wow, that might be just the ticket to strengthen this greenhouse. But I only had a couple of short lengths like this, so I needed to go and find some. So I drove into town looking for some tile edging strip, and I wasn't too bothered about the colour or the style. Now, when you visit a tile shop, when you visit a shop that sells this stuff, they've got silver, they've got gold, they've got white, they've got black, they've got brown, they've got lots of different colours, and fashion dictates what is the best seller for that shop, and fashions come and fashions go. Okay, so when I went into the shop, the chap asked me what I was after. He could say I was looking for something, and I told him about the problem with the greenhouse, and I was looking for some lengths of edging strip, and I wasn't too bothered about the colour or what it looked like or what shape it was, as long as it had that right angle strength about it, and I wasn't going to use it to put tiles in with. He said, I think I might just have the stuff that you require. Now if you do this, this is what you need to do. You need to make it clear that you're not bothered about the style, you're not bothered about the colour, all you're bothered about is the price, because you're not looking to pay the usual £10, £15, £20, £8 a length. If you're going to get a few lengths of this stuff, you're not looking to spend a fortune, are you? You're just not. So the chap found this gold coloured edging strip, and he said, how will that do? I said, that would be great. He said, well, we can't get rid of it, nobody's buying gold anymore. Have a guess how much he sold this to me for. And bear in mind, I'm buying this stuff in 8-foot lengths, which is ideal because my greenhouse is 8 foot by 6. How much for an 8-foot length of this? I've just told you what the usual selling price is. 50 pence. What? 50 pence? Give me a handful. So I bought a load of this stuff, and then I had to get some nuts and bolts, and they're the type that slot into the greenhouse frame and turn, because you can't get in the end of the slots now because you've built your greenhouse. You'll know that if you've got a greenhouse. And one thing I will say is the 6mm nut tends to be small enough to pop through these holes, so you will need some washers. So I've got a lot of this 8-foot gold edging strip. I went and got some nuts and bolts, and I remembered that I'd been told by my wife to fill the car up with petrol, and I done that, and I got home and I spent the whole day fitting these to the greenhouse, and they went in a dream. Seriously, the greenhouse is a lot stronger now than it was, and fingers crossed it won't blow away. Okay, so what we'll do now is, before I carry on with this story, let's pop out to the greenhouse and I'll show you this installed. I'll show you how I've installed it to strengthen the greenhouse. Come on, let's go. Okay, so as you can see, there's quite a few lengths of this now, in the sides, the ends and the roof of the greenhouse. And hopefully it's much stronger now than it was before. So that was Friday finished. We got the greenhouse proofed up. So it was starting to get dark, the day had moved on, I'd spent all day on this, and I would have a bath. It was early evening. I was going to have a bath because I was going out, I was going to get changed, go out and have a few pints with my friends. And that's when the missus popped her head round the bathroom door and said, "Did you get the petrol in?" I said, "Yeah, I've topped the car up." She said, "That's a shame because I've got a voucher that would have got you so much a litre off your petrol." And that's when I gripped the side of the bath, turned round and said, "I don't think I've paid for the petrol." "You what? You haven't paid for the petrol?" Excuse the dramatisation there, but it was like this, except this was the side of the bath. "Oh, I don't think I paid for the petrol." "Which card did you use?" "No, I didn't use a card." "Did you pay with cash?" "No, I can't recall actually paying for the petrol." "Oh, well, when you get out of the bath you'll need to ring them up." Which is what I did. I rang them up. And when I got the chap on at the other end, I said to him, "I was in the garage yesterday, I think it was about 11 o'clock in the morning, and I don't think I paid for my petrol." He said to me, "Were you driving a black Nissan?" I knew the game was up then. I said yes. He then told me my registration number. I said, "Yeah, that was me." He said, "You owe £23.80. Wow. He said, "What do I need to do?" He said, "Well, you need to pay for it." So I said, "Well, it's Friday night, I'm going out for a few pints with my mates. Can I call in tomorrow?" He said, "Well, we normally hold this for 24 hours and then we pass it on to the police." Wow, I'm gripped with fear again. He's going to call the cops on me. And at that point, I probably should have said, "Can I do this electronically?" But I didn't. I said, "Okay, I'll shoot through." So I got out the bath, got myself dried, dusted off, clothes on, whizzed through, paid for the petrol. That was the end of it. But hey, imagine if my wife hadn't have popped in with that voucher. I'd forgotten that completely. I hadn't realised that I hadn't paid for that petrol. Would this have happened on Saturday morning? And a cop standing at my door, arrested, criminal record, is that what would have happened? Fortunately, we saved the day. We didn't get that far. But hey, wow, was that a lucky escape? Have you ever done that? Have you ever had your greenhouse nearly destroyed by a storm and you've had to battle the elements? Have you ever filled up with petrol and just drove away? Never realised? I mean, what happened to you? That's what happened to me. We saved the greenhouse. These guys saved the day. Don't forget, if you're going to try and buy some of these, tell the chap, you know, you're not looking to pay top whack, you're looking for some he can't sell. You're going to take them off his hands and he's going to give you them for next to nothing. And you're going to beef your greenhouse up. Yeah, do that. And if you get some petrol in, don't forget to pay. This is Homegrown Veg, signing out.